Hey! So, the farm actually hasn't really been affected yet, but I'm sure it will because stuff like this drives prices. However, it has affected our social media life, which has gotten really exciting the last few days. Facebook, one word, Facebook, anybody? And I'm trying not to look at the camera because a car just pulled up in front of me and I have my camera out, but you know, it's totally cool. I'm gonna stop this because that's weird. Still camera shy, still got it. Hey, don't forget to catch us at the end for a little update. And what is this thing? Made it to the grocery store, and it's actually not as crazy as I thought it would be, but we'll see what it's like inside. I've heard horror stories. I don't know, I just feel like the fear, like people are just overtaken by fear right now. I was talking to somebody at the dentist and she's feeling paralyzed basically. Like I'm just paraphrasing there, and you know, but anyway, so this time of year we actually stock up like crazy people anyway. So for me, I feel like this isn't really any different than what I normally do because we have enough food for a month. Honestly, we could probably make it longer, but I really stock up for about a month. And so now we're like, well, I wouldn't think we'd go on lockdown or something. I know Italy is kind of, they can only go to work, the grocery store, and the bank. But I don't know. I just feel like if we're in the fields and we don't have time to get food and like at a certain time, and then like we're running short and then something else happens, like I'm trying to be reasonable about this and like not be overtaken by fear, but it really kind of makes you think when it's like realistically we need to plan for almost 2 months, which again I'm sure we'd be fine, but you still want to be prepared. So realistically, we stock up like crazy people at this time of year anyway, because we have to, because we're in the fields and you just never even know what's gonna happen, like everybody else right now, unfortunately. But anyway, so I'm gonna do my spring planting stock up, and that's more what this video is about. It's just gonna be a little extra dramatic given the circumstances. Here's something that everyone should be hoarding is tea, because if you have cold-like symptoms, just saying. Well, I survived the grocery store, and let me just say I was very surprised, and I was very almost disappointed too, because I feel like if we were to have an outbreak and we did actually like have to stay home for 2 weeks, I would be making freezer meals and I would be doing productive things and not like loading up on necessarily canned food or just like a bunch of eggs, or you know, there was somebody in there that was telling somebody else that they were surprised that at Walmart they had milk and eggs and stuff like that, but then they came to the grocery store and the grocery store was completely out. And I kept thinking, yeah, but at the grocery store this is a crowd that cooks, right? So, or more so than like your Walmart crowd. And I don't know, I came on a weekday because I used to work at a grocery store actually for 5 years, through college and then a little bit after. And Rhett was like, yesterday, Sunday, he's like, you know, aren't you going to go shopping and aren't you going to go get us stuff? And I was like, there's literally no point because the trucks haven't been in for 3 days. So of course the stores aren't going to have anything because where's the stuff going to come from, right? So anyway, so there was a few things stocked. They were still out of certain items, but like chicken, you know, a lot of people were stocking up on beef, actually, ground hamburger, the chili items. A lot of those were gone. But really, overall, I was kind of disappointed that the items that I feel like I would use to make good, healthy meals to keep us healthy and strong and all those things, you know, those items were in abundance. But you know, who knows what's going to happen. It was also really interesting to see what brands were still there, because there's some brands that advertise all the time, and yet like everybody around here likes Campbell's soup. So it was really interesting to see what brands everybody really likes, because nobody's starving yet, right? So we get to pick what we want still, and I thought that was pretty entertaining. Aldi's is actually pretty busy here. I gotta get a quarter somewhere. Oh, right there. Anyway, I guess one of the things that a lot of people are joking about is that, you know, everybody's supposed to be staying home, and then it's like social hour at the mall, and I'm thinking germaphobes like me are like, that's about the worst idea, because especially with something like this virus, all anybody really needs to do is just walk through and cough on everything, and then, you know, everybody else is affected because the virus survives so long on a surface. So I don't know, I just want to say, guys, be smart. Like, obviously you're watching this and you're hanging low, but be smart out there, because that's a pretty serious issue. One impulsive stop today, and that is to Farm and Home to get chick feed, because my chicks gotta eat, just like me. Kind of funny, I forgot the owner of this store actually gave me a reference for the hospital, because I've helped him a lot with different county fair stuff, and he had asked if they called me yet, and I was like, oh, I don't think they're gonna call me for a while. And that was only last weekend. So it's just crazy how much, I forgot that was last week, you know. It's crazy how much has happened in a week, and how much, like, that's gonna affect, you know, even places like that. Crazy, just crazy. Overall, I would say that everyone had pretty good spirits at the grocery store. I mean, I think there was probably 2 older ladies that tried to run me down, but that's pretty common on Senior Citizen Day. They got to get their discount. So I am at Sam's Club, and now the real work begins. Yeah, you'll just see. You'll just have to see. Gotta get all of that in there. And just like that. I actually popped the dog food bag, though. Whoops. Apparently celery is not in high demand. Organic iceberg lettuce. And meat. Freezer's pretty well cleaned out. I tell you, there's nothing that's going to put your customers in more of a panic faster than the fact that you just rearranged the store and we can't find anything. You know, I have to say, this kind of started out as, oh, ha ha ha, everybody's going crazy, it's all fun and games, you know, because this is what we do anyway. And stock up, I will say I was in Sam's Club, and I felt like these were my people, because I stock up, and I have super full carts and just get crazy a little bit. And you know, like, everybody was shopping that way, so I was like, oh, I'm not, you know, I didn't stand out for once in my life, but with my shopping anyway. I will say that as I was leaving Sam's Club, this guy was talking about how he just came from Walmart, and there's, on some live press conference, they were talking about closing something, and I couldn't really figure out what he was saying, but yet I was on my way out, and there was people behind me, and so I didn't want to, like, stop, you know, like, stop and be like, oh, what's going on, you know. But that did kind of make me think about, I need to look into other options. We need to make sure that we have milk. And there was no hamburger anywhere, actually, which was kind of a weird one. But so I went to Walmart, and thankfully they had milk. I feel like that was a gift, a gift from above, because if you have a young toddler that milk is a large part of her day, that one was gonna hurt a little bit. And so I just grabbed a few more varieties of meat. They were out of hamburger too at Walmart, but they did have milk, and the other snacks that Rhett wanted. So that's kind of nice for them, I guess. But yeah, you know, I don't really know what happened. I tried to watch a Facebook Live, but I didn't want to use up my my internet, because we may need that. I don't know. It just seems like with the farm, you just never know what's going to come up. So, oh, and plus they're going to use a lot of internet on spring planting. They use a lot of internet because they're chucking stuff in the tractors. But yeah, you know, it got real for a minute, and I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Like I started to say, this was all kind of fun and games, you know, and then it was like, oh, this is kind of hitting home a little bit. So good thing I came today. Who knows? Who knows? So I'm going to go make some returns. Hopefully we can still make returns. I don't know. But this is my car. As you can see, my Easter stuff right here. I was like, oh, we may not have another chance to come back to the store before Easter, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab those. They were $1, so, like, why not? But I'm gonna start heading home because this trip took a lot longer than I thought. I think I've been in town like 4 or 5 hours now, and I feel like a good hour was just waiting in lines and other stuff like that. But we should be ready for spring planting. And it's just crazy how fast we go through this stuff. Really, I mean, this will really only last us a month. But yep, I don't know. Right, we are headed home finally. I'm kind of anxious to see what was on the news. Hey, so I just got home. I'm gonna grab the mail, but I just got an emergency management notification. So I don't know what happened on my drive home, but things are getting crazy, and I don't know. I started this video out like, oh yeah, fun and games, and now I'm like, I don't know what to think anymore. I don't. But we're going to continue life on the farm, and spring planting is just around the corner, so I guess we'll dive into that. Have a good one. Running around doing chores, thinking about how grateful I am that we live in the country, we can get away from the craziness, and just not have to be, and have jobs that we don't have to be around like the pure panic every day. We can go to our quiet place and just hide out, I guess, and we have chickens. Actually, I haven't been able to find their nest for like a week, and we got a dozen eggs. Not like I didn't buy eggs in town, but we just have those resources, and just a great reminder about how sometimes we take this this lifestyle for granted, and sometimes it's just your saving grace too. We also live a lifestyle that I don't even have to think twice about going to the grocery store and getting Chinese food for lunch. I didn't even get my lunch till 5 o'clock. Brett was like, what took so long in town? And I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I only went to 3 places, and it literally took that long. But yeah, it's just, But yeah, I sat down at 5 o'clock to eat my lunch, and I was like, all I want to do is just eat my Chinese food, shut up. I didn't say that, but I was thinking that, and I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, didn't think that went through, but anyway, it was still good. It was still made in America. So we're good, we're safe so far. So far, so good. I'll let you know in 14 days. We're gonna go down to my new little she shed. I'm just kidding. It's actually a corn crib that we put we just put a greenhouse in it. We're still in the process of building it, but it might turn into a she shed. I don't know. Oh, we have to go get that thing. Right, so here, okay, we had to get the goats out. They are driving me nuts. They really are. They were fun until we had this greenhouse. Anyway, this roof has taken us about 3 days. It's getting ridiculous, but I wanted to do a little update because thank you. I wanted to do a little update because this video that you just watched was alright, so a surprise. Maybe you just have to stand there the whole time. Anyway, no, the video. I recorded it like 3 weeks ago. Never a dull moment here. I recorded it about 3 weeks ago when we were all kind of like, okay, so how bad is this thing? And it's starting to hit home a lot more. Different people know people who were healthy and have actually came back in a casket. It's just, it is serious stuff, and unfortunately it is kind of coming down to, unfortunately it is kind of coming down to, so just be safe, guys, be smart, be safe, hang low, and oh my, see if I can accomplish anything. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to say that this was a video from a few weeks ago, and just praying for you guys. Thank you so much for all the encouragement that you bring me, and we'll definitely keep you guys in your prayers. Hope you keep good spirits. I know it's getting harder and harder, but definitely when you spend time in prayer and the Word, there is just something about doing that and getting peace of God and with God, and it's really important. I'm trying. Let's turn the camera around here. Okay, we have a rinky dink where you can only lock it from the other side. And sometimes we can get out and sometimes we can't. But anyway, when the goat pushes on that, he could actually undo it. But anyway, there's just something about spending time in prayer and reading the Bible, and I can't tell you how many times I've pulled Proverbs out just to calm myself down. But there's definitely a peace that comes over us when we seek the Lord, and especially in trying times like this. And so just want to send you some encouragement. And anyway, it'll be interesting to see how this continues to affect us. I mean everybody, I mean us as in United States of America. Because I got to stand on it. So. I'm turning the camera off. Have a good one. On that note, if you haven't already, make sure that you press subscribe, give us a big thumbs up if you like what you saw, and don't forget to come back for our next video. See ya!